We're going to move on to our other big debate this evening, to Anna and to Arvind Kejriwal, the two activists who've come a very long way since the peak of Anna's agitation last year, which captured the imagination of the country. Today, they've gone their separate ways, with Mr. Kejriwal firmly in the political space and Anna announcing a new agitation from January. Not long ago, we were actually asking whether Arvind Kejriwal would survive without Anna's support and without Anna's name. Ironically, today, as Kejriwal makes headlines and uses up prime time space on television with press conference after press conference, we're actually asking the opposite. We're asking whether Anna Hazare has been sidelined by Arvind Kejriwal and what is the road ahead for Anna's movement. Let me take that question straight to Kiran Bedi first. It is interesting because we were asking, can Arvind do it without Anna? Can he do it without Anna's name? And yet, today you see Arvind Kejriwal occupying that space that Anna Hazare had at one point as far as the media attention was concerned, the headlines were concerned. And in some senses, Anna was actually clarifying yesterday that I haven't disappeared. My agitation is still there. Has he been sidelined by Arvind?
I think you now see two very strong streams. One was certainly on a pause. Movement had to be on a pause for the last few weeks, whatever was happening. I think too much was happening, and it was a conscious decision to let Arvind evolve in his own format. So I think Anna did a wise decision by also reorganizing. It's like putting his flock together because the team had broken. It had to take its own time. He had to rethink his team. So because there were volunteers and there were members. So I think it's now you see one was on a pause. Anna's movement was on a pause for a while, but the fact of the anti-corruption went on.
Was it difficult? Was this a difficult time as you were trying to regroup and re-strategize? Has this been a difficult time for all of you?
I think it was good reflection time because it's given a time to really for people to think which side are they? Which side are they? And the two sides have a common destination, but the paths are very, very clear. If you're not electorally inclined, you are part of the movement. But if you are electorally inclined, you will naturally be towards Arvind's outfit. So I think it's clearly now formatted. And I think Anna just came back at just the right time when this clarity had emerged and people, the followers or the volunteers or people who were part of the movement now clearly knew which side do they want to be. Do they want to be part of this kind of daily or weekly exposures of the kind Arvind is doing, and then finally get into electoral politics? And the second one is the movement, which was non-political, non-asking anything for itself, truly giving, saying nothing for yourself, but truly giving all that you had. I think it's got clarity, and I think it's just come back at the right time.
What do you think of Arvind's tactics, of these weekly press conferences, the weekly exposés? There's a lot of criticism of it because I think while it started with a certain momentum, now there's a feeling that he's making allegations without really any solid evidence to back them up. Do you think that will backfire on him? Do you think it's a good idea what he's doing? What do you think?
I think what the country needs it, all the scams which have got exposed, even when we were together as a movement, even when the whole movement was still together. Remember, 15 ministers we posted evidence on, 15 ministers, and we started with the Colgate, starting with the Prime Minister. All these require, after Colgate and the other scams which followed, all need a special investigation team. I think if the government really was not afraid of independent investigation.
So you're okay with the tactics? I'm asking about
I'm not at the tactics. I'm saying what has been alleged now.
That's different. But would you think the tactics?
I don't want to get into the ethics of the exposure.
Why?
I'm at the content of the exposure.
But the ethics are important as well.
I think ethics is very dicey because it is exposing people sometimes without giving them the right to defend. That's why you need to be fair to both sides. You need urgently, as to be just, urgently form a special investigation team, whether it's Mr. Vadra's case, whether it's Mr. Gadkari's case, whether it's a Colgate. I think these issues need to go to a special
But you raised that important point that yes, there is a question of ethics here, that there are times when people are not being given a chance to defend themselves, when accusations are being hurled at the other party.
I think
is that unhealthy?
No, Nidhi, the situation has been, this is a forced situation where you've had to go to the People's Court because there is no independent investigation agency today. Though I'm telling you, you can debate the ethics, but where do you go? Are these scams wrong? Most of these scams are based on CAG evidence. Where do you go with this evidence? You have no single independent investigating agency today, whether it's the Enforcement Directorate, Economic, or whether it's the investigation of the CBI.
But I think that
which is why the movement is so relevant to have the Lokpal bill, and the key of the Lokpal bill is independence of the CBI.
What is the
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.